Okay, well, we're live there and hopefully live here too. Let's see, do a
Mr.
quick refresh on
Jason.
this. Eric, how you doing?
Hey, I'm well. How about you?
Doing good. Just getting a couple things set up before we
No worries.
kick the day off, but pretty much ready to go.
Good deal.
There we go.
Custom live stream views. Interesting. Are you streaming this somewhere else as well?
Yeah, we stream on Facebook group and it goes to
Yeah.
YouTube and on just on my Facebook as well.
Yep.
Again,
But
I
they
think we're
can't
using
interact there.
yeah, we're using Restream, we've got about 4 channels.
Nice.
We stream to YouTube, our high level Facebook page, my page, and then into our group too.
Nice.
So
Can people interact in those other
yeah,
places? Like,
you can
huh.
see the chat going on too. There's not too we don't get too much
Yeah.
chat from
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
but it will pull
But if
up
it was
Facebook's live producer. It'll show you the chat going
hmm,
on, and then Restream will also pull in the chat too if you want to
great.
see what people are saying or asking. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like it's not
Yeah.
the most reliable, but it's pretty decent anyways.
Cool.
Um, yeah, so okay, well, uh welcome you guys to Thursday's call. It's what I like to call GHL Power Hour, and I'm Jason Orban from GHL Power Tools. And we're gonna kick things off. Eric, I think you just grabbed
Custom values.
custom values updater, and you wanted to do something with updating custom values through a CSV.
Yeah. So I've got a CSV file with 200 custom values I want to import.
So are they already in the sub account, or those are just the values that you want
Nope.
to
I just need to bring in all well,
the
I would like
values?
to import the custom value fields themselves and the values that are in the CSV file too, but they need to be created. At a minimum, they need to be created and then ideally updated. The value needs to be set as well. In other words,
Okay.
I have a spreadsheet with the custom value name and the
Yeah.
value that I want it to be. And I want
So
to bring those in.
where did you like what? So just maybe where are those from? Like what are you using them for?
So those are their merges for email and document
Okay.
functions. So when I send an email, I call a custom value with the name of this program is, and the name of the program is then merged. But there's 200 values because there's 200 different merge points.
Okay. So we do have, I'll show you in here where you can upload a CSV. I don't think we've set it up so that it will create the custom values though, but we
Yeah.
do have it set to update. So what we've done in the past is you have a sub account that already has those custom values in there.
Yeah.
Then
They
you
need to be
can create
created.
a collection here with let's just say here get custom values. It'll get all the custom values for that location, and then you just say these are all the ones that we want to update, kind of thing.
And yeah, so well, just so you know, when I purchased it, I did it on the assumption that I could create the custom values because I don't want to create 200 custom values by hand.
Okay.
But if I had to, I would, but I would rather not.
I
Then
would,
at least if I could, then I could
yeah.
populate the spreadsheet and then I could upload the custom values. Does
But
the API
that's like a
support?
one that's basically a one-time thing where you would go and
It is a
up
one-time
those come
thing. All, yeah, for the most part. But when you have a lot of custom values, it's
yeah, it's a
important to
lot.
me, right? So, and I have to do it on multiple sub accounts. So,
Okay.
because I'm not necessarily pushing a snapshot to
I hear
those
what you're
sub
saying.
accounts.
Let
Yeah,
me take a look.
and they're different. Well, but as far as if they already existed, you're saying I can upload a CSV to update the values themselves.
Yeah, so we had that set up because most people have their snapshot and they have the custom
Mhm.
values in there, and then they're just looking
Mhm.
for a way to um update those custom values that they already have in a sub account. So you can
Mhm.
totally do that. I just want to take a look here at how our thing is set up for uploading a CSV file. And that does a pop-up on that page.
Yeah,
Just
and the
haven't I
page
haven't
you
I haven't
were on.
visited it for
Yeah, no, I understand you're not using it
let's see.
maybe as often as users would.
Yeah, so it's just like we built it, it works. It's
Right.
no one
How
said
do
it.
you get to the page in the sub account?
So it the on in the email that you should have received when you got started, there should have been a custom menu link. If there
Oh, I didn't
wasn't,
see that.
I'll make sure to send you one.
Yeah, let me
And
go
then
back in there.
then it'll load up this for you, and then you should see custom values and stuff in there.
Hold on, where are we?
Uh,
Power tools,
Custom values.
custom link, copy and paste. No, that's just to install it.
Yeah, that's for that's just that brings you into our
Yeah, the
that loads up
installer
our dashboard.
worked. Use the following link in your under settings custom menu links to create a link. Okay. Use the following link. I'm not sure I get this custom link. Well, I did. I clicked on that and set it up.
Okay, yeah. So you can take
Um,
that URL that you get there and put it into custom menu links in your agency, and then
oh, I have to
it'll
make it by hand. Okay.
yeah. So you go and create
Okay.
that, and then
So copy address.
it'll create a
Okay.
thing on your side menu.
Yep. No, I know how to do that. Okay. So I'll do that.
Okay. So if we do this, no, what am I
Custom
looking
menu
at here?
links. There we go.
Arshad and Wayne coming in. So I'm just taking a look. Your custom bills are updating. I know there's a modal that we're popping up. Oh no, it's not under there. So it's just under straight up custom values. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Um, Dude, that's gonna go to this. Yeah, let me just check. Let's go to. It's probably something that we can make happen. I just want to
Yeah.
see here if we already
Oh,
have it.
well. The modal for this creating a custom value link, you got to scroll down. It won't let you click save. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Choose who can see this, admin. Okay, there we go. Okay, got it.
Mm,
It's all the little stuff. You know where the devil lives, right?
in the details.
He lives in the details.
Um,
Custom values import. Okay, there we are. Custom values
I
updated.
would try,
Oh,
like, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't tried just uploading a CSV file to see if it'll create the custom values because it'll go and update them, right?
so we go to new collection.
You might not even have to create a collection. You might just be able to upload your list of
Where
CSV
where
file.
do you upload it?
Down at the bottom, you have to go to add location to here, I'll show you.
Add location
Add
to
location to
upload.
authorize, add your sub account that you want to add it to.
Yep.
I'd maybe
New.
try a test account first. I haven't tried this. And
Okay.
then upload a list of
Oh,
CSV.
here it is. Okay. Upload
And then I've
CSV.
got um
So here's
I
where in my
click on
mind,
this.
like if I'm going to add 10 custom values, let's say I'm updating custom values and adding 10
Yeah.
values. I would want the system to add the values that don't exist when I'm
Yeah,
uploading the CSV.
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So if I go
Because
here,
otherwise I got to do it by hand. Like, what's the point? Like the API supports creating custom values, right?
yeah.
Fields. Yeah. And I'm not asking you to modify the program. Maybe I am.
Well, most people are, which is fine. I just want to, when I set, I just looking for the custom values format, what we put the format in for the spreadsheet.
Oh, because I've got to match it. Right.
Yeah, so it'd be this yeah, we want it to be the same on ours. So essentially we're saying
So usually you'd have here like sample spreadsheet and it would show you the headers. And you
yeah,
can
so I guess we don't have that on there right now. So it's just like
yeah.
basically look what we have
So
column.
is it the name or is it the code name?
It looks like the name is going to be the first column and the merge key is the second column and
Okay.
then the data is a third column.
So you
Like for the
do,
value.
but it only uses one of those to merge it. Either it's the merge key or the name, right?
Yeah, it'll actually look for both.
It'll look for
And
both.
when you're updating, the new API needs all three.
Yeah. Okay.
Or well, it needs the name and the value for sure.
Yeah.
So I will
But the field names you need to know, like the top
yeah,
row.
yeah,
Or
what
unless it's just looking at first column, second column, third column with no header.
yeah, that's it.
Is it no header? Yeah.
Yeah, no header, just
Yeah.
first column,
Okay.
second column, third column. Just
Okay.
want to see. I've got one here. I know I've done it. Um, why don't I have it in front of me? I'll have to find it here. Custom values. You'd think it would be in this one. I think that's what this one is. Yeah. I think this is somebody else's spreadsheet that they showed. I don't know. Let me go back to Zoom. Where am I here? Why am I? I'm not. Am I sharing right now? No way.
No.
Um. Oh yeah, I got to open that up again. Okay, 1 second here. Go over to here. Okay, so column one, custom value, the title, the name, and then the
Right.
column two is what the value is.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And if you, I haven't tested it with uploading to create new custom values. I know we have it going to
So
a
if you
function for
put a
updating.
name in that didn't exist, you think it's could create it?
I know that
Oh,
our other custom values, like for it will do that. Um, I haven't tested it with this, so um,
okay.
I would maybe
Well,
start a spreadsheet with
I would do something small, just
yeah,
not
add a
the
couple,
200,
and
not the
then yeah, no,
250.
just do like two or something like that, and just
Hmm.
make completely
Well,
random
one
custom
that
values.
exists and one that doesn't, right? Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then see it should work for you. Um, but just I can't guarantee it's going to create them because we're using our
Yeah.
update custom values function, which uses the update custom
Is
values.
it an upsert function or is it a create function?
Is one of
Because
our
upsert would create it.
we have um yeah, actually in this function for the custom values, if we don't find it, we add it.
You do. Okay. Well, that
Yeah.
solves that problem.
So it should, I'm
Yeah.
saying, yeah,
Okay.
it should.
Fine. Yeah. So
Um,
you looked at the error checking.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm just looking at our thing, the way that we wrote the function for it.
Okay. Well, I'll give it a try.
So it should, let me take a look. One more quick look at this. Merge key, that doesn't seem right either though. Yeah, okay. We'll give it a shot and then
Yeah.
send me an
Yep.
email if that works or
Yep.
not.
Yep. So just from quickly, the premise of the program in general, though, is to give a front end ability for users to update the custom values that happen to go into them with the forms. Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
so yeah, the main premise is like, yeah, you create some forms that update
Yeah.
the custom values. You'd have to map those to custom fields
Right.
too,
And
so the
then it
custom fields from the
copies them in.
forms. You can
Yeah.
have the custom values, you can have all your forms in one sub account and then
Mhm.
have it update the sub accounts as
Ah,
people go in and load them up kind of thing. So you can have a menu on your sidebar that goes, say, update this one, update that one, update whatever. You can update whatever forms, and then they fill out those forms and it'll update
yeah.
those custom
Because the
values.
forms, if you did that in the sub account, you could have a mess in the
Yeah, and then
contact stream.
it just tends to be you have a bunch of forms and stuff in there that if
Yeah.
your customers are digging around, they're like, well, what's this form for? And what's that
Yeah.
thing for? And why is
The,
that
the,
here?
the
Right?
biggest
Oh,
drag is that they show up in the contact screen because it's like,
yeah, yeah,
they all do. Like, it's like, why is this here? So
yeah.
it should not be here.
So what we've done
But I
in the
suppose
past
you
is
could take it
basically
out.
create a dummy contact that gets
Hmm.
passed with the custom menu link that you create for updating those forms, and then it'll just update that one contact every time the form
Yeah.
gets
So
updated.
you would have a form for each sub account, a different form for each sub account.
Only if you have different details on there. If you
Okay.
have the same details that need to be updated in each sub account, then you would just create
It would
one
be the same.
form.
It would be the
And
same, but how does it know?
you can pass the location ID. You just pass the location ID through the custom menu link.
So the link that you send them is going to determine which count gets updated.
Yeah,
Okay.
so in the custom menu link, when you create it, you put location equals brackets
Ah, ah,
location.id, and it'll
okay.
pass that location ID to the sub account. And then you could even do the same thing if you wanted to create like a dummy contact that gets updated in your main marketing account, so or your onboarding account, so that it doesn't create a new person every
Right.
time. You could just pass a contact ID of someone in there, and it'll just
Right.
update that single
Yep.
contact every time the
Yep.
form gets updated.
And that function of contact ID is fairly new, right? They just came
It's
out
been
with
around
that.
for a couple of years
Yeah.
now.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
but if you pass the
Yeah.
contact ID to a form, it'll update the details of the person of that
Yeah. So you
contact
don't
ID.
have to pass all the fields anymore,
Right.
like name, email. You just put contact ID and it'll populate whatever is there, right?
Yeah.
That's good to know. Okay. Separate from this, but still good to know.
Yeah.
So cool. All
Okay,
right.
cool. I'm gonna
I will
jump
give it a
over
try right away.
to yeah. Try it, test it out. It should
Yep.
work.
Okay.
If it doesn't, shoot me a message.
Give it a shot.
All right, awesome. Thanks.
Right. Thanks.
Emily, you had your hand raised, and then I'm gonna go over to Austin there because I know Austin has some questions from the other day here too. So, um, Emily, what's going on?
I just didn't, I wasn't able to be here last week when you were going over how to add the membership,
Okay.
to the member. And I didn't know if that is a quick thing that you can show or
Yeah, I
if
can.
it's something that is longer that I need a different time for.
No, I can show you right now. It is under a restaurant one, so I think you have the restaurant one installed in your sub account anyways. So if we
Okay.
wanted to, here is I'll go over that automation for adding members to the um you know what? And I started creating that video and then I kind of got sidetracked and then I went to go redo it and then I just didn't do it. Um, I it was like, oh, I'm trying to make this as the most efficient as possible, and then I just ended up scrapping it. But we did cover it the other day on the um shop here or whatever the call. So essentially what I've done is so you have your product, right?
Mhm.
You already have it set up so somebody buys your product. Inside of high level, we're using two different we've got a few different triggers. One is a there's a subscription action in here, and then we're saying the subscription is active, so that's just the title of the workflow trigger. And then we're saying we're picking which product, global product is whichever product is the subscription, and we're saying the status is active for that. So when that one gets triggered, what we're doing is we have an if statement here or like an if condition. The first one we have, or here, I'll just go through the triggers first. So Trigger payment success. So we're saying global product is tier one product, payment status is success. We're going to do something here. Subscription is canceled. So we're using payment and we're doing subscription. So subscription, global product is the product, and then status is canceled. So that is another trigger. This one is the same thing, but this one is active. What's cool with high level, they added in there is that you can say when somebody joins a subscription, it's going to turn it on, and then when the subscription gets canceled, either from non-payment or whatever, it can trigger something else, right? And then we have failed payment here. So the first one I have in the list, so we're doing an if here, and we're just triggering, or like we're doing the condition, and then we're triggering it off of workflow. So workflow, failed payment subscription, workflow payment success, workflow subscription canceled, workflow trigger subscription active. And then down here, you see what they'll do. Failed payment is going to send an internal notification to you and to the person saying that the payment for their subscription has failed. That could also just be like their credit card didn't go through, whatever. It doesn't mean that it got canceled. It's just going to send them a notification that their payment did not go through.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, that's great.
Okay, so successful payment. So on a successful payment, this is past their initial payment. So their initial payment is going to trigger the subscription active. They're on a successful payment, the subscription is already running, but this is just their monthly payment coming in, right? We're just going to check to see if they're already a paying member. If they are already a paying member, then we're going to fire off the webhook to recharge the tier if we're giving them extra things, updating points, doing stuff like that, from the system. So this would make sense if you're doing coupons or anything like that. They can use once per payment period or something, or if you're giving them points or whatever. I don't know if you guys are doing that, but that's just what's in here. So if they are not a paying member yet, it's going to go down this path and it's going to ignore it, because these two, subscription active and subscription payment, will get triggered at the same time when somebody first signs up. So this one will go down to zero, the no path, if they're not already a member. And then over here, we're going to send an internal notification to the team saying that the subscription, we have a new subscription is active. This is where we're going to activate. We're going to add the tier, and then you take the tier ID and put it in here for the tier that the person is joining. We also have this update contact field where we're going to put the tier again. What I was saying though is I was going to switch these and then actually move this up here, update the contact field with the tier ID that they're using, and then instead of putting the tier ID in here, we would go contact, um, custom fields, and then that's going to be tier ID here. So essentially what's going to happen is going to update the contact tier ID here for the tier that they're subscribed to. Then it's going to add it to our system so we know which tier they're on. And then we're going to tag them, say here, tier one member. And then over here, we're looking to see if they're a tier one member as well. So you can, tier one member is just whatever tag you want to use between these two things. It doesn't have to, it has to be the same. Like, so when they become a tier member, we want to see if they're a tier one member. And the reason why I just said tier one is because that's the tier that we're setting this up for. So if you have multiple tiers, like tier one, tier two, or gold member, or platinum, or whatever, you want to check for those two between those two different workflows here, because this will be the initial one that gets them added. And then here is the one that recharges it, and we don't want them both to fire at the same time. Now, over here under subscription canceled, so in Stripe or I'm assuming other payment processors as well, if the subscription gets canceled, it's going to trigger that in high level. And then we're sending an internal notification to tell our team the subscription was canceled. And then we can fire off a webhook to remove that tier from that contact as well. So then that's where we're using that tier ID that we set right here as well. So yeah, I think this is a better way to do it. So the tier ID goes in here, and then we can activate or deactivate the tiers through there. Um, if you want this workflow that's already done, it's inside the latest reward snapshot, the restaurant rewards one, so you don't have to create it. But I guess you could go through this video and then go create it too, because it's not that complicated. But and then these ones can basically be ignored because you would just duplicate this one here for each tier that you have set up in your system.
Okay.
So if you have multiple tiers, then you would do the same thing for each tier. The only thing I don't have set up in here right now is like a change tier. We have the webhook for a change tier if they're changing from one tier to another, like an upgrade or a downgrade. Um, I just haven't put that in yet. Do you guys have people that switch membership tiers?
And in fact, I mean, so two questions. Yes, that we do have that, and that is happening a lot right now because we just added a third tier.
Okay.
And people are upgrading to that. So that will be something that. But then my next question is, how can I? What's the best way to manually, like, do I manually add people to that workflow once I get it all set up? Do I just go back? What would be the best way to
Like you can trigger it. You can
like
trigger it
tag or
however,
something?
yeah, if they fill out a form or if you could do the same, almost the same thing. So changing tier.
Well,
Um,
less maybe about the change of tiers, but like we've got 800 and something people that I need to make
yeah.
sure get on. So what's the best way to bulk or like I do have most
You
of them.
could you could add another thing in here for tag for it already says they're on the subscription, right? Like they're already subscribed to it. So you
Uh
could they're like because they're already paying you, right?
they're paying us, yes.
So you could add a tag and then you could add a tag as a trigger. And then
Okay.
when you tag them with that tier, um, just for getting them set up and getting them added, what you could, or like, I mean, you could create a workflow that just essentially does this line right here, contact update contact field with a tier, do the webhook and tag them. You could do that in a completely different workflow and then just add those people that are on, say, tier one to the tier one workflow. And then it would add them here. And then you don't have to tag them or anything else extra. You could just take this and take this section and put it into a different workflow. And then when you add them to the workflow, it'll just do these three steps for you, kind of thing, because they're already part of the membership.
But I'll
And
have to go
then
into each person's contact field and put the tier that they're on.
no, you would just have to like you would set up a workflow for each tier. And then
Yeah.
in this one here, you just put the tier ID of the tier that they're going to be on. And then you put them through the workflow and then it'll update those things for you.
Okay.
Like you would have to know, like create a smart list. Let's say if you
So I
created
think
a,
I think that's the best. I think I already have the smart lists that we need to do
yeah.
that. So that was
Yeah, so
my
if you
that
have a smart list of everybody on tier one, you could select everybody on that tier, add them to the workflow that only has these three steps in it, and then just make sure this has the correct ID for the
okay.
tier that you're adding them to.
And then once that's like the first step, then I would put that whole list through this workflow.
No, you don't have to anymore. No,
Oh,
because
okay.
they'll already be in here. These ones just get triggered. Now, every time they have a payment that goes through, it'll trigger this workflow. If that subscription gets canceled,
Uh-huh.
it'll go here. So it's just what you have to do is, so if you have a tier one payment, you just have to you'll have to still set this one up. You'll want to still set this up because you'll just select your product in here. So this would be for everybody who's doing tier one, you know, um, everybody who's doing tier one, you want to set up this workflow for your tier so that it'll do the failed payments, successful payments, subscription canceled, active, that kind of thing. But you can have another workflow because you already have people in your system who are paying. Just do this. Or like other option is you can go copy all actions from here, put it in the none, and then just add people to this workflow. And when people get added to this workflow, it'll do that.
Oh, okay.
Like that's another option you could do as well. So it'll do
Okay.
the same thing. And actually, I would delete this, delete all actions from here. I would just make this a go to, save that action, and then we're going to go down to this field. So if they don't, if you add people to this work, so the way this is set up now, if you add people to this workflow, but they haven't come in through one of these triggers, what'll happen is it'll just add them to that tier.
Perfect. Okay. So now I could just take my smart list and then put them through into this workflow and it'll set it up correctly.
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
After I get all the pieces uh set up for our tiers and different all of that.
Yeah, I'll create another video after the call today and I'll just kind of recap what we just talked about. So it's just all in
Okay.
one
That
spot.
okay. That is awesome. Thank you so much. And then one other quick question.
Yep.
When they let's say they are canceled because of non-payment or whatever,
Yeah.
is there a way to set up the expiration of points so they come out of the leaderboard and are not getting notifications for like the emails and or text messages that are set up for the rewards? Because what I noticed
Yeah.
happened a couple of times is I removed somebody from the leaderboard and it sent them a text saying, "Hey, you have points." And I was like, that was what I was trying to avoid. So I
Right.
couldn't find where that was at.
So you can, on subscription canceled, you could add whatever you want here or trigger a different workflow from that. I think we have,
Can you share your screen,
oh yeah,
please?
sorry. Yeah, on that canceled workflow, you can add whatever you want, but then under reward system, I think we have, where's the expire points? Let's go back. Expire coupons and reward points. Um, two, two, two. This one expires reward points after 6 months, but you could essentially do the same thing. So we have a webhook that you can fire off that will expire their points. You just need to pass their points to the webhook. So inside their sub account, we keep their points updated. Here, down here is the expire points webhook. Um, the location ID, the action is expire, pass the contact ID, and then you're going to do smart rewards current points. And what that will do then is it will expire all points that they have from there. You still might want to, so I'll just leave that up for a second. Hopefully that makes sense. It's under expire rewards points, 6 months here. That one will expire the points. I think I have I think feel like it's an example workflows as well.
Okay.
If I go back, um, there's one that says, uh, maybe we don't have an example expire. But anyways, you can use that 6 month one as the expire,
Okay.
example. And then if we go back, under, it's going to be one of these here. I could probably just search for it. It is reward system. monthly points reminder, remove them from this workflow.
Okay.
So if you expire their points, then remove them from the monthly points reminder as well. That way they won't get notifications.
Okay. I will work on that and then probably mess some stuff up and then be back on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, we have the Slack channel there too, so if you have any if in the meantime, if you have any questions about it, post in there
Okay.
too.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, Austin, you figured out your issue. That's okay. Okay, cool. Um, awesome. Rajat, you that's how you say your name, right? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm getting it right. Little insight on how the customer accesses the restaurant dashboard.
yeah.
So,
And this is from the client side,
yeah,
like customer side. Yeah.
like the leaderboard are you talking about?
No, no, no. This would be the leaderboard would be from the restaurant as a customer, but I'm talking about the end customer,
Yeah, okay.
how they
So,
can see.
when you send them, when they earn points or they get points or they register, um, any of those things,
Hmm.
they're going to get an email and notification that sends out one of these trigger links. If they're subscribing to promotions, they're going to get a link to the promotions page
Okay.
here that's going to take them to where they need to go. If they're part of rewards, so like if they earn any points or anything like that,
Hmm.
this always gets sent out, the link to the loyalty dashboard, and that's going to show them where they can get their points and their rewards and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Is there a dedicated link they can actually go and see, like
Yeah,
a login?
they could bookmark it or save it or whatever. That's fine.
Okay.
Um, no problem. It's always there. This is just this will just generate the URL for them.
Okay.
And it'll always be in their email or text messages.
Okay. And is there a possibility, say they just come by in the restaurant, they say, you know what, I don't have a link and we can share the link right away with them?
Yeah, you could. It won't. They'll have to log in. Like this link here will send them their. It'll pre-fill the form for them, so they just have to click login.
Okay.
But if you just send them to this page here,
Mm-hmm.
slash my rewards login
Okay.
page, that one will go to the rewards one. The display promotions one, a little bit, you would have to have them fill out a form first. So you would have to go to a form where they put their phone number in, and
Mm-hmm.
then when they put their phone number in, it will send them to it can send them a link to their promotions page.
Okay. Okay. But as such, we do not have any dashboard, dedicated dashboard where they can just log in and see whenever they want to.
Yeah, I said yeah, they do. Yeah, so they just need
Okay.
that link.
Okay. So
That email,
that's the.
that links gets sent to them. There's
Mhm.
just, I mean, you can link to it from their website if you want as well. You just link to whatever their domain name. Like here we have the custom value, right? That fills that
Mhm.
in. But
Mhm.
you can go to my rewards login page, and
Okay.
then I don't even think it has to be page. I think it'd just be my rewards login, and it'll bring them to the registration or the login page
Correct. Okay.
for their account. So you could be like log in here or register, you know, um, to get into their to go see their points.
And it would be the same case for looking at the promotions simultaneously with the loyalty, or it would be again sending them, filling up the form and sending, looking for the promotions.
Well, on the link to the on the loyalty dashboard,
Mhm.
we already have in there a link to the promotions, and you can keep it there. Some people choose to remove it,
Okay.
whatever you want to do. But on the home screen of the, so this is where we're sending people the rewards login. That's where they can log in to see their points. Home screen here, on here we do have a link to the promotions page on
Oh,
it. So I mean, if they log into this one, they can go to their promotions as well. Same
got
kind
it.
of thing. This will send them
Awesome.
over
Perfect.
to that area. So, um, yeah, it depends on whether you're doing points and promotions or just points or just promotions, where you
Okay.
want to send them. So,
Points and promotions. Got it. Okay. Another question is for the reviews. So, how you are dealing with, say, you want to have a review site which you created, maybe abc.com, and maybe rewards separately as xyz.com. So, is that the subdomain manager we would like to send them through, or how
No.
we should? No. Okay.
So if you want to have like different domains,
Yeah.
so subdomain, we built the subdomain manager. It's kind of redundant now because
Right.
in here, high level does the same thing now. So when
Correct.
we built the subdomain manager like 3 years ago or
Mm-hmm.
4 years ago, you couldn't do this with high level, which is just like, please tell us which domain you want to add. And
Right.
then high level goes and adds it for you. You
Correct.
know, um, they never had that before. So we created the thing where you could go and do that. So you don't have to do that anymore. But if you want to set it up for different subdomains, you can do that just through the connected domain here
Oh, okay.
in the high level settings.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Sound.
that's the best way to do it. I know there might be still a couple people using the subdomain manager, which is why we haven't got rid of it. Because there's
Right.
some people using that's if you like it doesn't work with Lead Connector. It
Mm-hmm.
only works if you're using Mailgun and Cloudflare um,
Okay.
um, on its own or without high level.
Right.
And then because high level still uses Mailgun
Yeah.
for their sending and everything,
Mm-hmm.
um, even if you did go and use it, you go to add that thing in high level, and then it tells you, oh, you still have to go and add all this other stuff anyway. So it's just it ended up being kind of pointless.
Yeah. Even for my funnels, I'm actually using WordPress and using the plugin and doing that route
Yeah.
rather than the subdomain. So I think, yeah, no. So is that a possibility if I want to create two different brands? Say, for example, for one is for reviews and another is for the promotions only. How to manipulate those things on a website and in the system GHL itself.
Be more specific. I'm not sure
Okay,
what you're
so
saying.
say for example I opened up abc.com just for reviews, for the
Yeah.
smart reviews, and I want to create rather than attaching them to their sub account, I would like to attach to, like you did, uh, restaurant.freshprep.co.
Yep.
And same things I want to create multiple for my clients, so I should come here and connect a domain within GHL, you mean?
Yeah, so what I would do if you want to do like like we do the same thing here. So we have FreshRep
Yeah.
and a lot of our review clients are on freshrep.co.
Yeah.
So we'll just put client name.freshrep.co for
Okay.
their sub account. That way we don't have to go into their accounts and try and get their domain and stuff like that because it can be a real pain. Well, it just takes longer because sometimes they never created the domain, right? Or they don't know who has access to the domain and getting that information can be a pain. So we just last time we'll set up a subdomain with this, and that's where the subdomain manager came in because we would just go and create those subdomains really quick.
That's correct.
You
Yeah,
can
I
do
saw
that
that
here.
video
You
and
can do
that's
that
the
here
idea.
quickly now too.
Yeah.
So I would pick a easy domain that you can set up, and then just create your subdomains here. So you could have reviews, but if you're doing it for multiple clients,
Hmm.
each one has to be unique, right?
Right.
So you can't just be reviews.freshrep.co for like 5 clients. You have to be like um, client1.freshrep.co or client1reviews.freshrep.co. You know what
Got
I
it.
mean? Client1 rewards.freshrep.co kind of thing. You would have to set up those different domains.
Hmm.
And I always suggest you doing putting the client name in the front. That way they get recognition from it as well. So when somebody goes to that URL, they see the business name there.
Hmm.
We said with another system we built, we did the same thing, but we just kind of abbreviated the client name. So if it was like um, Copper Brewing, it would be
Hmm.
cb.freshrep.co or something like that,
Okay. No,
kind of thing.
it's.
So
I think
just to
that's
keep it
that's a
short.
really nice idea, so that it won't have, because there could be a possibility people can have same names but not the same abbreviations.
Right. Yeah. So it's just I would that's what I would suggest. The only thing is you can't get you would have to do, someone on your team would have to set those up for them when the account gets set up because
Mhm.
you own that domain
Correct.
kind of thing. So it's not something you could get.
I think with my experience, in any case, we have to do it. The
Yeah,
client never does it, right?
right. And yeah, we do all the stuff for our clients like that
Yeah.
just because we do definitely do more done with you stuff
Mhm.
for the client rather than just SaaS where it's like, here's how you go and do it. Because the client won't do it. And because we run ads and do stuff with them, it just
Got it.
makes sense.
Got it. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Emily, another question.
So I can't find the snapshot.
Oh, okay.
Um, don't
If you're
know
gonna
why.
download it here, I'll just send it to you here in the chat. That way,
Okay, perfect.
because I just updated and I updated it in our sub account there, but I didn't refresh it here. So let me go and refresh it. Let's go refresh. I'm gonna change the name of it. This will be. I haven't changed the name of it for a little while. March 2025. Okay. Well, that's new. Oh, so this is new. When you refresh the snapshot, what do you want to update? Yeah, refresh it all. Interesting. So I guess that could be like if you're working on something, if you create something new in there, you could refresh just a part of it. Oh no, that didn't work. Ooh, here, let's stop sharing. Snapshot, get permanently again. Did that one work? There we go. Okay, so that's for the restaurant one. I'll go and update it on our server here too.
Here.
So you should be able to import it, and then when you import it, it'll ask you what you want to bring in, and you can select that one workflow.
Okay.
So I don't think you need to update anything else. Because if you do happen to like bring in a bunch of stuff, I think you've probably changed some of your messaging and stuff that's in there. So we just want to make sure you update that one workflow. And if you want to share your screen when you do it, we can do that too.
Okay, that would be great because I maybe I'm not totally following. Hold on, let's see here. Okay, and so it's this.
Yeah, it looks like it got brought in twice for some reason.
Okay, that probably was operator error on my part.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so it's then this one, and then I just go in and edit this, yeah?
No, you go to sub accounts. It'll just no, not there.
Oh, sorry.
Just on the
Oh,
left-hand
oh,
side
right
where it says
here.
sub accounts.
Ah,
Over in the blue menu on the left there.
sorry. Gosh,
You
okay.
almost got it. There you go. Yeah, and then go click on the three dots in the bottom right corner Switch to sub account. No, click on the three dots. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Manage client. And then, oh, weird. Okay, go back to sub accounts again. It kicked us out. Click on the three dots and try manage client again. Nope. There's a little bug going on with high level. Okay, click on sub accounts.
I always have I mean, I've never done this part before, but I always have an issue getting
Click on click on switch society the name. Will that bring us in?
this.
Yeah. Oh.
I have a hell of a time getting in. Like I have to sometimes refresh
Well,
multiple times.
it kind of looks like it's showing you the 497. Are you on the 497 account or the 97?
So we're in the process of trying to work out the like I'm going to the to start work on the franchise stuff. So I did upgrade because I needed to try and manage the I wanted to track some of those things we talked about before, like
Yeah,
the churn rate and all of that, and I wasn't able to do that on the other or at
right.
least know how. So I thought I was going to be able to do it. So I did upgrade, but I've not gotten very far
Okay,
with how to do that.
go hold shift and click refresh on your key. Hold shift on your keyboard and then click on refresh. That might clear the cache for it. And then go back to sub accounts. Go to manage client again. See if that works. If it doesn't work, okay, go back to sub accounts. We're just gonna try clear cache again. That's probably what the issue is. Right click on your screen and go to inspect down at the bottom. That's gonna open up a thing. And then go to your refresh button and I think right click on it and then go empty cache and hard reload. Okay. Try click on that and go to manage client. No. Okay, so close that. What can I say? I've had that happen, like high levels done that to me too. They might have a bug at the moment, or they might be updating something or something weird. Um, click on because there's no way to add the snapshot to the sub account without going to sub accounts. Um, yeah, because we can't even push out updates.
Should I
I don't.
try to do it back through like when we in the chat, like go back to the link that you shared?
No, that only
Oh.
imports our snapshot into your account
Oh, okay.
snapshots. If you go to account snapshots, I don't think you can add it to a sub account. Click on imported, and then you'll see, yeah, our one is at the top there. If you click on the plus, it'll go to create a new account, and then that won't help. No.
Okay. All right.
Just try click on your name one more time. The Switch Society name. You might have to chat with high level support.
Okay.
I'll show you what to do here on our side. I'll share my screen. So sub accounts. We're on the
I'm
297, so we don't have the dots. We just
we're
ours just
not
says manage.
sharing.
Mm, you might have to stop sharing if you were sharing. I think I said to replace it, but maybe it's because you're still sharing.
Nope. It's not I'm not sharing anymore.
All right, let's try
I
again.
can't see what you're there we go.
All right, I stopped sharing and I reshared, and here we are. Okay, so when you get into that manage client, this is what it should look like.
Okay.
Essentially, up in the top right, you're going to see actions. So we're going to go load snapshot, select the snapshot that we just imported. So
Okay.
yours is going to be under import, mine will be under right here. So we're going to click proceed. And then because you just want that one workflow, essentially go down to workflows, expand it, and then it's going to be you just have to look for it. The example membership tiers, that's not the one. There is, I don't know if, was that the one? Membership tiers.
Yes. Order. Let me write. I did write it down. Reward tier automations.
What did it say? Sorry.
I thought it said reward tier. Reward tier.
All right, let's
Oh
see.
no, wait. Order forms example. That's what it was. Order forms
Okay,
example.
membership
Yeah, yeah,
tiers, order
yeah.
forms
Yep,
example.
yep, yep. That's it.
So you want to skip everything, you want to just skip everything else.
Okay.
You can just say skip. Actually, you can select all, skip all, and then
And
go
then
down
just
to,
select that
yeah, just
one.
go down to that one. 'Cause that's all you want to bring in. Membership tiers, we're just going to select that one and
Okay.
then proceed, 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 and then it'll import that one
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
workflow for you.
Okay. Hmm.
You could also, if you
Okay.
don't have them already, you could also do the add tier, change tier, recharge tier, remove tier, because they're examples of how those work. So
Okay.
you could just bring those in too because they're good examples. You don't have to have them on, just make them draft when they're in, but
Okay.
import them and it'll just show you how those webhooks work.
Okay. Add, change, and remove. Multiple pens not working here.
Yeah,
Add,
that's my life.
change, remove tiers. Okay.
Well, you might be able to just pick this to the reward tier automations, that
Okay.
folder. Boop, just bring that into, and then that'll bring the folder and stuff into, and then just hit proceed, and it'll bring everything into that sub account for you.
Okay.
But
All right.
first, yeah, I'd have to talk. You might have to reach out to support and say you can't get into your sub account, and it might be a thing with them switching it to
Okay.
that. It just doesn't seem like it's recognizing which sub account you're trying to pull up. So I've had that happen before, and usually after a while it fixes itself, but a lot of times just like clearing the cache will work. You could also see if it'll work if you go open it up in like an incognito window. Um,
Okay.
that might work for you. You'd have to log back in
Okay.
high level, but
Okay.
it might work for you that way too. So
Okay.
it's usually a caching issue
Okay.
in your browser.
Okay. I will I'm gonna just save that and okay. I will see if I can try it in an incognito window and also if that doesn't work, I will give them a call or
Okay,
get on
sounds
their
good.
support things. So yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, that's pretty much our time for today. So we'll wrap it up. If anybody else has any questions, join the Slack channel, post in there. And other than that, we'll see you guys on Tuesday. So you guys have a great rest of your week and a great weekend, and let's get a lot of stuff done.
Bye.